Hello friends, so today we are going to learn chapter number 11. It is from unit number 5, that is organize and report superstep. So it comes after the transform superstep that we have studied earlier, that is chapter number 10. So now we will see the organize superstep. So organize superstep, it takes the complete data warehouse you build at the end of transform superstep and subsections it into business specific data mart. So what is a data mart? It is an access layer of the data warehouse environment built to expose data to the users. So from the data mart, the users can extract the data and they can read the data. The data mart is a subset of the data warehouse and is generally oriented to a specific business group. So for every business group, the data mart may be different and it is specifically designed for that particular business group, like horizontal slicing. So if there are 1000 records in my data set and I want to see only the records of person whose specific salary comes in a range. So suppose I want to see the employee salary which is in the range of 30,000 to 50,000. So here I have to go for horizontal style slicing or setting of the data warehouse. It is achieved by applying filtering technique that forces the data warehouse to show only the data for specific pre-selected set of filtered outcome against the data population. So only the population where the salary is between 30,000 to 50,000 will be displayed and the remaining will be hidden. So it selects the rows and it displays and it preserves the column. That means all the columns for the selected records will be displayed, but from the entire data set only the specific records will be displayed. Now next is the vertical style slicing. It is the subnetting of the data warehouse achieved by applying a filtering technique that forces the data warehouse to show only the data for specific pre-selected filtered outcome against the data population. So it will select the specific columns while it is preserving the rows. So all the records will be displayed, but only specific columns will be displayed. Like there are, for example, if there is a data set which has 1000 records and it is the record of employees. So from that, if I want to select the name and salary column, so only these two columns will be displayed in vertical style slicing and all the 1000 records will be displayed. So the rows are preserved, but the columns are selected. Other columns will be hidden. So the data science tool can see only pre-selected columns from the record for all the entire population. Now, island style slicing. Performing island slicing or submitting of the data warehouse, it is achieved by applying combination of horizontal and vertical style slicing. This generates a subset of specific rows and specific columns reduced at the same time. So it means that we remove specific rows and specific columns from the data set. For example, if we have 1000 employees record and I want to only display the employees whose salary is between 30,000 to 50,000. So we can apply a filter and we want to only display the name and salary column. So we only select those two columns. So it is island style slicing. Now secure vault style slicing. It is secure vault. It's a version of horizontal, vertical or island style slicing, but the outcome is also attached to the person who performed the query. So this is common in multi-security environment where different users are allowed to see different data set. This process works well if we use a role-based access control approach to restrict system access to authorized user. The security is applied against the role and a person can then by the security system simply be added or removed from the role to enable or disable access. So basically we will have a ACL, that is the access control list. So if we have access to certain record, then only we will be allowed to see those records, otherwise it will restrict the access. Like if suppose the employees are allowed to see their own salary, but the manager is allowed to see the salary of all the people working under that particular manager. So this kind of restrictions can be applied using the secure vault style slicing. Then association rule mining. Association rule learning is the rule-based machine learning method for discovering interesting relation between variables in large databases similar to the data you will find in the data lake. This technique enables you to investigate the interaction between data within the same population, that is within the same data set. We can find out what is the interaction between the data or what is the associations between the data. Then report Superstep. In this Superstep, the ecosystem enhances the data science findings with the art of storytelling and data visualization. That means our findings should be displayed on the or screen or in the form of data visualization or in the form of storytelling. The data should be displayed to the people who are querying for the data, to the top management, to the users, and you can perform the best data science, but if you cannot execute a respectable and trustworthy report step by turning into your data science, you are into actionable business insights, you have not achieved the advantage of the business. So the report has to be proper. Now, summary of the result. The most important step in any analysis is the summary of the result. Your data science technique and algorithm can produce the most methodically, most advanced mathematical and most specific statistical results to the requirement. But if you cannot summarize those into good story, you have not achieved your requirement. So the summary of the results are very, very important. The summary has to be proper and the results has to be as per the query performed by the user. Like if suppose it is the product database and we want to find out that which products are required for a particular demographic area. So the data has to display the products correctly. Understanding the context. What different good scientists from the best data science are not the algorithm or the data engineering. It is the ability of the data scientist to apply the context of his finding to the customer. Example, the bar is served at around 23:45 and there is one last person left in the bar. The person is drinking and he is left with 5% of beer in his glass at 23:50. From the context of the drinker, he will drink slower to stay till midnight or drink the rest immediately if the person has to catch a midnight bus. Same way, the bar staff also wants to close the bar at 23:45, but still the last person is remaining, so they cannot close the bar. If they have to close the bar, then they have to send this person and shut the bar. So both the context is also very important. We have to understand the context from the user perspective and from the management perspective. Then only we'll be able to better serve the query. Appropriate visualization. It is true that the picture tells 1,000 words, but in data science, you only want your visualization to tell one story, the findings of the data science you prepared. It is absolutely necessary to ensure that your audience will get your most important message clearly without any other meaning. So we don't have to show too many information, but we have to present just one information which is appropriate. Now, eliminate clutter. We have attended, suppose we are attending a presentation where person has taken lot of efforts in preparing 50 different slides of the feedback of what he has obtained, that is the data science results. But from all this presentation of 2 hours, we may get frustrated and we may not understand any information out of it. So it's better that our message should be clear and specific. Draw attention where you want it. Remember, your purpose as a data scientist is to deliver insights of your customer so that you can implement solutions to resolve a problem that may not even know about. You must place the attention on the insight and not the process. Whatever may be the process, what is the outcome or what is the result is more important. So our result should be clear and specific so that the user can understand. We must ensure that your process is verified and support the algorithm and technique, but the results has to be clear and specific. Telling a story. So when we are plot a story consists of 5 parts: exploration, rising, action, climax, falling action, and resolution. This is used by writer of a book and screenplay as the basic framework of any story. In the same way, you must take your business through the data science process and tell a story which will be useful and meaningful. Now, the graphs which can be used for displaying the output, we can use the pie chart as shown in the figure. It shows the percentage or highest percentage of any particular area. So different places and what is the sales of different person is shown in the pie chart. Now, double pie, if we are displaying 2 different information, then it is better to display it in 2 different pie chart so that our information will be clear and specific. Line graph, if we want to show the sales is increasing, decreasing, or how the different products are performing over a period of time. So we can use this type of line graph. Bar graph, if suppose we have 2 different products and we want to display the sale of these 2 products in different cities of the world, so we can use the bar chart. Now, horizontal bars, this is also a best way of representing the information. Here the sales of different products in different parts of cities are displayed here. Then area graph. Area graph, the area under the curve or under the line can be used to display the information. So it is also very useful. Then scatter plot, it is used to plot the points on the x and y axis. Then comes the hex bin graph. So hex bin graphs are also used to display the information. Then we have picture. Picture is an interesting data science specialty. So the processing of movie and picture is a science on its own. And channels of images. An interesting fact about any picture is that it is complex data set in every image. Pictures are built using many layers or channels that assist the visualization tool to render the required image. So cutting the edge, that means if suppose the most common technique that most data science projects require is the determination of the edge of an item image. It is useful in areas such as robotics, object selection, face recognition, and there are 2 examples. This is the first example. Here the image are extracted, edge image with edges are extracted, and in this particular this is the edged image. So both are 2 different type of images and they both have importance in data science. One size does not fit all. The image that we get to process are mostly of different sizes and quality. You will have to size the image to a specific size for most of your data science, because whatever image we obtain, maybe raw image, first we have to process it to bring it to a standard size, and then only we'll be able to do the further classification or edge detection, showing the difference to enable you to produce 2 overlapping results but still show that both exist in the data science presentation, showing that 2 different different sets, what we have to do is, if two nodes are overlapping, 2 to 3 nodes are overlapping, we can still show them together, but little side by side, so that the visual representation is improved by shifting the values. And the example shows how 3 dots, even if they are overlapping, they are slightly presented one aside other, so that we are able to see all the 3 or 2 dots that are overlapping. So this is how we show the difference. So with this, we have come to end of our chapter. Thank you.